Dear Log, sometimes I wonder who I really am. I know my name is Adesh Ali Alaskar from the Bay of Bengal, but what does this truly mean? I'm a broken man who couldn't be any further away from home than I really am. Stuck in this poverty-stricken metropolis, 1,000 miles from home, my employers abandoned me when I needed them the most. Why? Because they're a bunch of blood-sucking parasites that exploit the Bengalis' hard work and use the outdated Navigations Act, which forced me out of employment because I wasn't English. I was left in the very heart of the East End without a penny to my name. It's taken a long time for my English to get good, and my mates Edom and Ishan are in the same situation as me. What are we to do? Our journey to this land of misled possibility has been bad enough, only for us to be left here without no aspiration and direction. We were abused, and many of the weaker-minded Lascars jumped ship because they couldn't take the humiliation anymore. I envy them. We had been forced to eat pork, flogged, and hung up with weights that had been tied to our feet, wounding my right leg to the extreme that I walked with a severe impediment. With a disability and not able to speak a word of English, we were forced to sleep on the streets of the East End in an area called I think it's Shoreditch, in the harsh, cold, blistering winds that represent the English winter. Sad to say, the next day, poor Edom and Ishan were frozen solid and motionless, each with a smile on their face as if they were happy to leave this God-forsaken land. I stumble wearily across the East End streets and see familiar writing that struck my eye. Full of euphoria, I noticed a Bengali refuge which granted me access. Although some rooms were dirty, with no bedding and furniture, we all slept on the floor with one blanket each. It was the closest to home I'd ever felt in London, with people who looked like me and act like me all in the same room. This felt just like the Bay of Bengal again. The next morning, the owner of the refuge centre, who looked in his early 30s and was a former Lascar himself, gave me these clothes and instructed me that the British were sending us back home because of something called the Merchant Shipping Act. With full elation, I was ready to go home. Living in London's East End was not what I expected. As a matter of fact, I never asked to come here and was left by a bunch of tyrants who only cared about their goods and not the human labour who had assisted them on their journey. I leave behind many brothers who have settled in Shoreditch and begun to make a living for themselves in the midst of extenuating circumstances. But I can admit, I am not one of them. I leave behind my friends who are the victims of the harsh treatment of the British and the stark realities of the East End. My name is Adash, which means message, and my message to the fellow Bengalis today in 1894 is to return home and never look back at England with an ounce of nostalgia. I have not. The only thing I remember is the dark, sinister streets of East End London, which made me feel like a helpless creature ready to be attacked at any instance. An experience? Yes. Something I will embrace? Yes. Something I enjoy? No. My home awaits me, my real home. My friends and family call my name. I will be home soon. Finish.